Do you remember this innocent guy and his love story? Even if you don't know who he is, I can help. Tyler appeared in the Netflix series Wednesday. He worked as a barista in the café Weathervane in a small American country town of Jericho. One day, Wednesday came to this place when she was trying to escape from Nevermore Academy. She wanted to buy coffee, but she couldn't. The coffee machine was broken. So she offered Tyler a deal. She'd fix the machine and he'd call her a taxi. When the coffee machine was brought back to life, he agreed to take her where she wanted to go. However, he could only do it in an hour. The inspector didn't please Wednesday at all, but she had to wait. Meanwhile, three guys walked into the cafe and started teasing her. Well, they chose the wrong path, and soon realized that. Then Principal Vince found her and got her back to the Nevermore Academy. Of course, one failure didn't stop her, so she made another attempt to escape at the Harvest Festival fair. The plan was simply to ask Tyler to take her to the train station. Strangely enough, he agreed to help her without asking for anything in return. That's so sweet of him. Anyway, as the festival started, they were ready to carry out her plan, but a gang of bullies interrupted them. Running away, Wednesday bumped into Robin, her classmate, and saw a prophetic vision. A vision where she saw his death. It frightened Rowan, and he fled into the woods. And then something strange happened. He attacked Wednesday and tried to kill her. The reason was the child full of war would destroy Nevermore and everyone in it. That is what his mother said before she died. When Wednesday was trying to calm Rowan down, a horrible beast unexpectedly appeared and killed him. It was really uncanny, so she decided to remain at Nevermore Academy and find out what was going on there. The next day, Tyler met Wednesday when she was leaving Dr. Kinbot's office. This doctor was Wednesday's therapist, and even Tyler's therapist, as we found out later. During the conversation, he supported her by believing what happened to Robin, as no one at school believed that he died. Thank Principal Wims for that. She was the one who covered up his death, so the school's reputation wouldn't suffer. All this help and support that Tyler gave Wednesday is only because he wanted her to fall for him. This plan was realized step by step. She asked him for help again, this time to find the original Pilgrim meeting house. Tyler knew more about the town of Jericho and its history, so he told her that it was located in a cabin woods. By investigating this place, she saw a new prophetic vision of her ancestor Goody Adams, one of the original outcasts, and Joseph Craxton, a prominent pilgrim who had committed atrocities against the outcasts. When her vision finished, she was face to face with the same monster that had killed Robin. It quickly disappeared, but left behind traces, from which Wednesday did learn one thing.
Monstrous human.
She shared these thoughts with Xavier, who was luckily close by. This guy was a school friend of Wednesday, who had been interested in her from the day they met. As you might have guessed, Tyler and Xavier were sworn enemies. Anyway, this unexpected meeting led Wednesday to suspect that Xavier might be the monster. She became even more convinced when she saw pictures of the same monster in his private art studio. It was only a guess, and still Wednesday wanted to know more. She decided to invite Xavier to the Raven Dance and learn more about this potential killer. To be honest, Tyler wasn't pleased when he found out about it. However, everything soon changed. Xavier refused to dance with Wednesday because he found out her true intentions. Instead, Finn, her best friend and family member, decided to ask Tyler to dance, of which Wednesday wasn't aware. Therefore, on the Raven night, she was dancing with Tyler, while Xavier was kicking himself for being unable to forget this girl. Oh, these love triangles. During the party, Xavier told Wednesday why he and Tyler had become enemies. Turns out, this innocent guy assaulted Xavier and destroyed his mural on Outreach Day a year ago. When Wednesday asked Tyler about it, he told her that he'd done terrible things, but he wasn't a terrible person.
He's lying!
How well said. Anyway, after that party, the new Shirley continued her investigation and soon followed a new trail that her ancestor Goody Adams had pointed to. It was the Gates Mansion, a place full of secrets. She was gonna check out this place with Annette, her roommate, and Tyler. Of course, she lied a bit when she told him that it would be a date, but she didn't really care. By going in there, she figured out that someone lived there, someone who collected the body parts from the monster victims. Perhaps she wouldn't have found more if the monster hadn't interrupted her investigation. It appeared unexpectedly and slightly injured Tyler, but luckily they managed to escape. What's interesting is that Xavier reappeared immediately after this incident. That was very suspicious. Anyway, when they were looking after Tyler, his father, Sheriff Galpin, came back home and trouble followed. He was angry with Wednesday because she was responsible for this, and because he didn't like her as well as all the outcasts in Nevermore. The sheriff forbade her to meet with Tyler. Sure, like everyone is going to listen to him. Moreover, they're listening to him so well that the next time they met again, Tyler invited Wednesday on a real date. But I'll get back to it. Before that, Wednesday met her Uncle Fester, who helped her find out what kind of monster killed Robin. correction. It was called the Hyde. Yes, this is the references to the dual identity of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. The Hyde is a person who is compelled to turn into a monster through a traumatic event or chemical inducement or hypnosis. Anyone who set the creature free became its master. This meant that Wednesday wasn't looking for one killer, but two. She almost believed that Xavier was a Hyde, but who was his master? Everything fell into place when Wednesday saw Xavier's secret meeting with Dr. Kinbot. After that, she told Uncle Fester about her guesses, but their conversation was interrupted by Tyler. He wanted, as I mentioned before, to ask Wednesday out on a date, and she unwillingly accepted. As it turned out, Tyler was a real romantic. He prepared a cute picnic in the Craxton's crypt. It was lovely. At first, they watched a scary movie, and then he chose the right moment and admitted his feelings to her. He wanted them to be more than just friends. Wednesday said that he was making a mistake, but he didn't really care. He only wanted to kiss her. Unfortunately, he couldn't do it, as Sheriff Galpin interrupted their date, because he was looking for Wednesday's uncle. Anyway, the date was over, and as usual, Wednesday continued her investigation. She found out that Laurel Gates, an ancestor of Joseph Craxton, who was considered dead, was actually alive. This lady was a master who came to take revenge on all the students of Nevermore Academy because of her family. Wednesday knew that Laurel was really Dr. Kinbot, so she visited her and told her that the game would be over soon. But everything went wrong. Dr. Kinbot was killed by the monster immediately after meeting Wednesday. No one expected this, especially the child Flavor. Xavier had to pay for all of his crimes, but she was unable to find any sort of incriminating evidence. So without hesitation, she framed him because she was absolutely sure that he was a Hyde. Sheriff Galpin arrested Xavier, and finally Wednesday had caught the murderer in his master. But is the game over or not? After all that and being in a good mood, she decided to finish her interrupted date. She came to the Weathervane cafe, and the two lovebirds finally kissed. Of course, she had no idea that it would bring her another vision. She saw Tyler, his true identity, and it turned out that her first boyfriend was a psychotic serial-killing monster. Along with the members of the secret society Nightshades, Wednesday accused Tyler of all of the crimes, but he denied absolutely everything and pretended to be a good, innocent guy.
I'm not the monster.
I'm an angel. Not one of the best, but I try. And I make mistakes. Bicycles were a mistake.
Of course, he was lying, so Wednesday had to torture him. The original Wednesday is back, but such measures weren't to the liking of Bianca and her team. They had no choice but to report her to Principal Wims. As a result, Sheriff Galpin interrupted the torture and rescued his son. In the police station, Tyler confessed to Wednesday that she had lost. He shared that killing people brought him pleasure and warned her,
You have no idea what's coming.
Anyway, she wasn't scared. On the contrary, she carried on and found out that Laura Gates was actually Marilyn Thornhill, her botany teacher, who unlocked and nurtured the monster. She manipulated Tyler by showing him that his mother was also a Hyde and that she had died because of the outcasts. Laura locked him in a cave for several days and used plant-derived chemical until he became her slave. Pity the guy. However, no matter how hard Wednesday tried to ruin Laurel's plan, she failed. Joseph Craxton was revived, while she was on the verge of a life and death. Tyler wanted to finish Wednesday off, but failed, and it shapeshifted into a werewolf and protected her. Their deadly fight was impressive and emotional, and yes, ended one. Although, if Sheriff Galpin hadn't shown up and shot his son in the arm, everything could have been different. Anyway, this time Tyler lost. He was seriously injured, so his father took him away. After that, Wednesday sent Craxtons back to hell and finally caught Laurel. But what about Tyler? He was under arrest, chained in the back of a police high-security van. Perhaps he was being transported to a place impossible to escape from. No chance with the gather, because Tyler woke up at that moment and started turning into a Hyde. He'll break free, and then we'll see. Either he'll still be a villain, or redeemed villain, because without Laurel and her plant chemicals, he may change and join force with Wednesday to stop the new villain that'll appear in the second season. Or he has been so effectively brainwashed that he'll never stop trying to kill her. Anyway, these are only my guesses. To sum up the relationship between these two, Tyler was the worst boyfriend that Wednesday Addams had ever had. He was always using her, had no feelings for her, and wanted to kill her. Of course, in the second season we will have a new boyfriend. Maybe it'll be Xavier, maybe someone else. We'll know soon. Alright, it's time. You can discuss everything, ask questions, and share your theories in the comments below. I am looking forward to reading your comments. Luckily, this isn't the last Addams Family video, so if you don't wanna miss a new one, subscribe to the channel. And finally, don't forget to leave your warm likes, so I can release a new video as soon as possible. As always, it was MultiAlexson. See you in the next video, my dear fire fans.